here.
We are here.
We are out here on the Give podcast, episode
This is number seven.
seven.
Seven podcast.
Lucky number 7.
Yes, sir.
It's seven's an important number. Like I said, lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
It's
so
we did something important too. And this is the first ever live episode of the Give podcast.
Yeah, and like you said, it's live in many ways.
Multiple ways.
How many lives do we have? We have.
I'm live on Instagram at YFNSO. So follow that.
Yeah, I'm live on the Give Instagram account at GoGive, go.g1v3, and I just went live on these two graphic productions Instagram. So we have 3 lives. That's
lives. And we have a studio audience as well for the first time.
Indeed.
Shout out my man's Uncle Justice, my guy. Hi Sean, the lovely Sean. We got Mr. Alexander, Big Kev.
Big Kev, co-owner of Wellspring Manor and Spa. Shout out to them again.
Shout out, big shout out.
And we're doing it big here. So how you been, bro?
Working.
You been working?
working.
Is it just been working just straight up?
Yeah, man. I mean, other than 9 to 5 too, or really in my case, 12 to 9.
12 to 9. Not really.
It's like 11. I don't even feel like we're calling my hours. We don't talk about. It's
that.
The weekend. We're not talking about that.
I feel
but
that way, yeah.
I'm also putting in, my own kind of work. A lot more editing, a lot more writing, a lot more, just getting that creative energy out.
So we need for sure.
Trying to get myself disciplined so I can get my shit together.
Yeah, be easy.
Yeah, right. Man, be easy. That jump taking off, man.
Indeed.
It's happening. Got contracts, but keeping that on the low.
Yeah, we're trying to build a circle, bro. We need that creative spirit, bro.
Word, man.
What would you say is like your what is your current project? What is it like? If somebody asks you, what is BEZ working on? What would you tell them?
BEZ is doing commercials now. We're working with social media marketing experts. You know what I'm saying? I'm really workshopping different ways to market with videos, not just going and filming and putting that together, but stock footage and sound effects and music and stuff like that. All the stuff that sound is a big part of editing. So
and production.
Production in general, the sound isn't all, because it's wild how deep that goes.
FX, and that it really makes a difference in a video.
Mm-hmm.
In any song, any podcast, any audio based, anything that has an audio element in it, you can't skip over the audio, because in the days back in silent film, we don't want to do that.
We don't.
So we need sound production, and that's an important thing.
Once the sound don't match up, you're what's the word? I can't remember.
You can do it. No,
I don't have it.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah. We
immersion is ruined. There it is. There it is.
Immersion.
Once the sound doesn't match up, your immersion is ruined.
Your immersion?
Yeah. You can't get into it anymore. You can suspend your disbelief. There we go. Suspension of disbelief. Yes, that's the term I was looking for.
You can suspend your Get more into that.
So suspension of disbelief. All right. So I'm a pro wrestling fan. We all know pro wrestling isn't real in the sense that UFC is real. They're not really trying to beat the shit out of each other. In some cases they are, but we're not going to go deep into that.
Okay. First.
Pro wrestlers are crazy. They're still getting slammed to the ground. On a weekly basis. But regardless, anybody who watches wrestling can, if you're looking closely, can see that it's fake. Not fake, scripted.
Right.
Scripted is the term.
Of course.
But knowing that, how do you watch it? How do you still enjoy it?
Yeah,
you
like,
know, would say somebody, and it's like,
over and over.
yeah, but it's like at the end of the day, what you really want is to see somebody get beaten up, and you're willing to suspend your disbelief to be like, okay, I know that this isn't real in the sense that I know, you know, it can get like a real live fight, fist fight. You know, some of this stuff, like how do you really grab somebody by the neck, pick them up? How do they cooperate? It's clearly cooperation, but you know, it's for the same reason you can watch a movie. It's the same reason you can see a fight scene in a movie and be like, oh yeah, this shit is lit too. You're not really fighting, so.
That, and,
but you still enjoy it though, you know, because
that makes a lot of sense, especially with disbelief. And I want to get into something else, but I want to acknowledge my man, Ron.
Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Ron.
Yeah, shout out to
my
Ron.
guy. What's good?
Live.
What's good?
Yeah. But yeah, it was good, Ron. We fuck with you. Our man's in the joint. We need to get you on this podcast, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, bro, suspension of disbelief, bro. I want to get back at this. There's one thing that I saw. It was like this in the circus, like, and they had like a tiger attack. What was that? Siegfried and Roy or some shit.
Siegfried and Roy. Yeah.
Siegfried and Roy. Yeah, that shit. And like, you know, when they had that tiger attack, I guess like, you know, like the circus got really popular or something like that.
Mm.
And it's like, you go there and you go there because you want to see tiger attack. You don't want to.
Like it's like deep down, like you'll tell yourself when you go is like, oh, I want to see somebody stick their head in the tiger's mouth. Like on the low, you're like, I want to see him bite that shit off.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a big part of like why.
Like it'd be wild if I saw. I'm not saying, but you know, if I was there for that, I'd buy a T-shirt. You know.
A tiger attack T-shirt.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, like deep down, you actually wanna.
On the subject of that, back to wrestling really quick. WrestleMania 36, there was no crowd. This was when COVID first hit, and they had a shirt that said "I wasn't there," and I was like, that's genius. I really want to buy that shirt. I'm not going to, but I really want to buy that shirt.
That's like
like that's great. I wasn't there. You're right. It's like a parody that I appreciate.
Yeah, that's good. Like, and that's gonna get deeper into what we're gonna talk about. But that's good, like advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like the whole idea of just like they're just like messing with the person who's like reading it basically, and that's like good strategy.
You can appreciate that.
Definitely.
That's exactly what marketing is.
For sure. Definitely.
Using your mind against you. They're programming tinfoil hat.
This system, bro.
.jpg.
Shout out to who's that? Ian New? Shout out, yeah.
What it do?
What's good?
Yeah, how you doing?
How you feeling out here?
What it do?
Yeah, we're we're out here on the 7th Give podcast. And yeah, so suspension of disbelief. That was the last topic, and then that got into marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very interesting. How can marketing suspend disbelief?
Can marketing suspend?
Like, can you market something so well that it suspends a person's disbelief?
I think you can. I feel like you can, because I think a recent example of that is Donald Trump. Like, he markets himself as a successful businessman even though he's not. But either people that don't know that or do know that and want something else, have an ulterior motive, are willing to suspend their disbelief, say, you know what, I'm gonna rock with this, I'm gonna ignore this part, and I'm gonna rock with this because it will lead to something that I want.
That will benefit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so.
That's like, you know, that goes into the arrogance, selfishness, and all that stuff.
Ego. It's ego.
Yeah.
You're definitely thinking about yourself.
That's,
Are you Perks? Arthur the
Arthur
was good.
Oh,
My guy, what's good,
Let's
man?
do Arthur.
Yeah, we definitely gotta get you on the podcast,
my
bro.
God, we gotta get that dude on the
Yeah, you
podcast,
definitely
for
gotta
sure.
come through. Ants, check out
Oh my
Ants.
God,
That joint is lit.
Antics,
Like, antics. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that jump wrong. You know,
Antics.
that's my guy though.
That's
my guy though.
Oh my God, bro. Damn, bro. Artie Perps.
Artie Perps, man, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Artie Paul the Third.
For sure.
Shout out my man.
We gotta get that dude in here. I don't know, bro. There's been plenty of artists out here that I want to get on the podcast. And I talked about my man's OT Beats. He hit me up and he was.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
He was trying to like link. I'm definitely trying to get him on the podcast. But I definitely want to take it like further than that because we were talking about this before about how I wanted to because the main let me say this, the main goal of Give, what I'm trying to do is create an animated series, an autobiographic animated series. And we're doing fried chicken. If you haven't heard of fried chicken, check that out on webtoons.
Your Magic Lamage was good.
Magic,
bro.
hey, it was good, Magic. Yeah, I'm gonna get back on that, Magic.
What do?
Yeah, check out fried chicken on webtoons. We're making an animated series. We started recording. We're releasing a video about the recordings. You're gonna see that video. Check out.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that, John.
Yeah, that's the bloopers.
I missed out on that second go round.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Oh yeah.
It's busy.
That bro, my godfather, his voice acting is so. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that video?
Videos
I
are
have to post that
hilarious.
video.
Yeah.
I have to post that video. That video was
Can I get?
I was gonna chill, motherfucker.